telling us about it the time you had done this.
No. I want you to do it for me. Mark,
Okay.
I'm addressing you. John,
Okay, I hear you.
Turner, I'm addressing you. You get me a man, of some substance to say, look, it's a dialogue. It's not a debate. Tell him,
Haven't
is
you had-
Jesus God? We can
Haven't
talk.
you had similar things with Mr. Gilchrist?
Yeah. Gilchrist in
He's not as well known.
That's right. In other words, now it's all, he's riding.
somebody like
He's
me.
riding on my caravan. You see?
Yeah.
No. I don't on my bandwagon. I don't want people to ride on my bandwagon.
I see.
I want somebody
Of their own merit.
He's got his own, like Swaggart. Look, Swaggart had a merit. You see?
Name.
And I spent all the money.
Yeah.
I hired that place there in Baton Rouge, and I had everything. I gave out 20,000 books. I did everything. I advertised in the newspapers. He wouldn't. Right? Why did I do that? Because he was a man of substance. Right? I mean, if he fell from
name.
grace, his name. You see, it was there. Even today, to me, he's one of the greatest Christians I had come across. See, we make mistakes, we fall.
Yeah.
In the sight of God, God can forgive you. Right? But I said, no, I don't hold out against anybody. The man is great. Get me somebody, and I want to do that exercise before I die. And I'm getting old now. Look, I'm 74 now. How long am I going to live? I said, look, before I die, I would have something big here in Durban.
You seem as fresh as a daisy. Can we give a couple responses, and then you've been so gracious to give us so much time, and
Please,
we have
please,
to be
Mark.
to Westville
Please,
before
Mark.
now. One would be, I wish I knew somebody. I wish I knew somebody I could get and organize and give it some thought, but I don't know. I wouldn't be afraid of doing something like that.
I know that.
I hear you loud and clear, but I'm certainly not the person to be with you.
Good.
So, I don't know. Give some
And,
thought.
I give the reason why. You see, that name,
Yeah, the name
Mark
would draw the
so-and-so,
people in.
As a who is, but if it's a moderator of the Dutch Reformed Church,
Yeah.
it carries weight. And if he makes a fool of himself, you can't say the fool knew nothing.
Yes.
Look, can you?
It's his
But
problem.
Hurley, let him make a fool of himself.
Yeah.
You, Mark, if you make a fool of yourself, he says, who's this Bach fellow? We don't know him.
I agree. I hear you loud and clearly on that. The other is that I'd just like to say thank you so much for giving us your time. I think it's valuable to hear this. One of the things that I'm interested in doing.
Yes, Mark.
Our news correspondent was here. He said to Mohammed, and he said to your other fellow, he says, one of our aims is, we feel like we're supposed to love people. And how can we love people we're afraid of? And there's been so much misunderstanding, and this helps me to understand you as a person and understand Islamic faith. I don't think I'm going to go out of here as a converted today, just like I didn't come here with that intention of trying to convert you to my way.
Thank you.
But I would like to maybe come back sometime, and maybe your son or somebody could share with me just some of the nuts and bolts of your operation here at the center. So what some of your goals are, your tactics, your methods, your methodology of your militancy and that kind of thing. I enjoy, it's like sitting there and listening to my grandfather tell stories or something, and you tell Bible stories better than I can, and I'm a preacher, and I enjoy hearing these, they come alive to me. And
I didn't know that I was talking to a preacher. I didn't know that, Mark. To me,
no, really.
member of that mission, whatever, so right, welcome,
Yeah.
anybody is.
But no, really, I love this, and I think it's a valuable experience just to hear you tell the stories and to see them from your viewpoint. So I just wanted to say thank you for all that, and
Yes, Mark.
and I think that certainly, as you said, dialogue cannot hurt us at all. And I respect you as an elderly gentleman. You obviously know your stuff, and you know a lot about my stuff, and I appreciate that. And we'd like to just keep the door open to share together.
My door is open.
I understand that.
And you don't have to make appointments.
Yeah.
When you're passing, you just pop
drop in.
You just drop in,
Okay.
and it says, I'm here, it's all right, we'll order some
I was
tea,
wondering
come sit
if
down.
there's any chance, too, that I might could get a copy of the video cassette that your men made of the... We were here on 2 days.
Right,
Us in this room here,
right.
and the video. I wondered if they would be willing to let me have a copy.
Yes.
I'll bring the tape or something of that nature.
Yes. Now, did they also, your people, did they do any...
We have still photographs.
Oh, I see, yes.
And our men too promised Mohammed. He said, if I write something, I'll send you a copy of anything I write.
Right.
So anything that we write or publish, you get copies of and that kind of thing.
You speak to my son about that.
I'll speak to Joseph.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Look, you've given us a lot of your time. I know you probably got a heavy agenda.
No, that's, you see, this is primary.
Yeah.
To me, my primary job is to receive people.
Yeah.
Because on the day of judgment, suppose, this was your turning point in your life.
Yeah.
And you see the whole thing like on a TV there. He said, right, that was the turning point on my life. I went there to the I.P.C.I. I wanted to meet the old man, and perhaps, he might have shown me things or guided me right. Oh my Lord, that guy, and when I wanted to talk to him, he was too busy. So I said, Deedat, is this true? So what were you doing? I said, well, I was having tea, sir. And you told you were too busy for my job. So I believe in this. Anybody who comes here, number one, all my jobs, I take them back home again. I carry them home, I do my job, and I come back and bring it next morning. Right. But you come first. There was a time when every guest to the mosque was my responsibility. See, Muhammad Said is doing now, that young man.
Yeah.
But when we were in the arcade, we had only about 3 guys. Anybody comes along, he wants to see the mosque. They say, right, who goes? I said, the best man goes. And I believe that I was the best man. In my absence, my secretary goes.
Yeah.
Right. In his absence, the third person goes. But if I am there, no man, what I'm doing? First thing is, this is the guest of God. To me, I said, this is a guest of God. And I'm too busy? No. So what's going to happen to me on the day of judgment? So God sent his guest to you, and you were too busy to guide him. I said, no. So primarily, this is my duty. The rest is all second. Everything else is secondary. So whenever you come, Mark, John, you live in Durban?
Yes, well, until December.
He's here till December. I'm here till next July.
With friends. Young man, come. You want to have a little bit of a
T to T.
a boxing match.
Okay.
You don't have to pull punches. He said, yes, uncle, it sounded very nice. But you people, say so. Don't be afraid. Because this old man can take anything.
I can imagine that.
Because to me, it's an opportunity of disabusing your minds, or I'm a failure. So then either way, it's proving to me, say, look, man, you failed. It's not God who failed, I failed. But I can try. So to me, it's an opportunity. Whatever you come with, yourself, Mark, as well. Any type of thing. You say, look, yes, Mr. Deedat, I read the Qur'an or I glanced through it, but I find this, it sounds incongruous.
I was going to ask you that. Do you have any? Do you have any copies of the Qur'an in English that that you like give to guests or anything like that, or should we buy one down at the store?
Yeah, what we do, we give to ordinary people.
Yeah.
A man comes along like you now, for example, right? And you, John. Suppose you were not a missionary.
Yeah.
I would have been forced to give you a book. I would have been forced to give you a book.
Yeah.
Right?
So we should buy one then.
You should buy one.
Yeah.
Because this is now, because you are a missionary.
Yeah.
If you send an ordinary Christian, let's say your wife comes along, and if she gave me this hearing, I got to give her the book. So your brother comes along, if I didn't know, suppose you came along, I didn't know that you're in the field, in other words now, we are, we say, professional opponents, one to the other, right? So I can't arm you, but I don't stop you from purchasing one. But now otherwise, to me, this is the greatest thing is to give to them.
Same as we would like to give I have a box of Bibles at home.
Correct. But I said, no, I came to fight you. I don't know how you'd feel. I'm a black belt karate expert of religion, and I came to give you a headache. And then he says, no, I give you this. It doesn't come spontaneously. I'm not a hypocrite.
No, you're straight up. Thanks for your time today.
Mark, it was a pleasure and a privilege.
We feel that every human being ought to have the right to examine for himself or herself and make a decision. Many of them would agree this is a better revelation than I've ever had before.
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله